Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video, and today I'm bringing you a video on two ships that I had so much trouble recording videos for because I want to love these ships, honestly. There's just so much wrong with them, and yes, I'm talking about Ignis Purgatio and Ragnarok. Both of them are very interesting ships. I like how they want to play, and it would be so much better if they could just fit, if they didn't have so much of a problem fitting their role. So, first off, I'm just going to go over, they both run the same build, essentially, except Ignis Purgatio will run Spotter, and Ragnarok will run Fighter Plane, and that's just because of the Commander's perks. We're going to go on the Commanders, so I'm going to run Justine's on the 13th. Hyde has to be one of the inspirations, and the other is going to be Cunningham, and you'll see that with the Ragnarok build on Arthur's the Cold. Emperor's Wrath, of course, base trait. Flammable Cannoneer, because we want the battleship range and increase shell and the better shell grouping. We want the gun damage to be as high as possible and good traverse speed, so we're going to run dry braiding drill bits. Marksmanship, because we need the gun dispersion to be good for us, and reaching out because we need the extra range, because honestly it's all that we have on this. And then we're going to have will to rebuild, so we get the extra HP, and that'll be on Justin Leon. And then we have Arthur's the Cold, whose blind rage is the base skill, and a good day's work, because we want a little faster damage control party. We're going to run Porcupine, and I can see why people might like Avatars of the Slaughter, but when you're a battleship and you have so much extremity, it's honestly just going to kill you faster. Then we're going to run On Second Thought, and yeah, Firefighter would be nice to bring down that, well, first bring down the reload time on the damage control, and the bring down fire chance, but kind of we need that shell switch because the reload time is abysmal on these, and if we're switching guns, the bat ammo, it's going to take forever. And then reaching out, same reason, you have abysmal range as it is, and we're going to take will to rebuild. Running with scissors is nice, but we need the dispersion to be good to us because we're running the fighter plane to get the extra damage off. So both these are the same, and you might be asking Tactician, why do we need to run a command William Sims or Hyde as I do? Well, you only have 52,000 HP with our command inspiration, and if we remove him, we're down to, I think it's like 50,000 HP, which is lower than any tier 6 battleship and lower than even some tier 5 battleships after upgrades, which is what you're going up against. And then even against tier 7s, you're no match, so your only option is really to try to catch stuff and hope you do well. So with that, guys, let me just get you guys into the two games. So we're first going to start off with a game in Ignis Purgatio, and we'll see. We got a lot of tier 7s, especially, well, we have a few tier 7s and a few tier 6s. So we're at our tier matchmaking, and Ignis Purgatio is our HE ship. So what's the problem, you might be asking? Well, you'll see during our first engagements. So first off, you'll see our range is absolutely abysmal. Like, if I go and zoom in, we'll see. Yeah, you only have about 17 kilometers range, which doesn't give you a lot of fighting opportunities, especially with such a low HP pool. You were legitimately trying to sit back and snipe people on a ship that has some iffy dispersion, even with its supposedly good shell ballistics. And you'll see we get 3 of 4, 1 shatters, and we get a fire, but we're instant conned. So And here we take a hit for 1,000 HP, which is 1,000 HP we could recover, but we're trying to hold on to our damage cons, well, our repair parties, to help make sure we stay alive longer and have good longevity. We find one enemy destroyer. It's Benson. I'm more interested in trying to get the battleship. I'm not going to get it though. He's out of range. And you'll note we're only going at a 4th speed because we have to play so cautiously at this point that because of the position we have, we are so frail that every point of HP is basically what you're trying to eke out of this ship to survive. So we're trying to sit back and snipe the Cleveland with HE. Note our AP damage is absolutely abysmal, and well, it's not even worth trying to shoot most of the time, unless you have a flat broadside, something like an Iowa, which at that point go ahead and shoot, because I would love to see what your AP damage is. You'll see we have enemy HMS Vanguard off to our left. That Odin does get in range for a second, but this Cleveland is still just asking for it broadside on. And our 16-inch guns aren't going to do much for us. We'll tag him, launch the fire and incapacitation, get a defended ribbon, and I overshoot this rear next salvo. So yeah, I'm gonna start to slow down again. And yeah, we're using the little bit of island cover we have to help us survive, because that is what we need to do. Cleveland slows down to a halt, takes shots, and this salvo looks absolutely horrible when you take a look at it, because that you're supposed to have good gun ballistics and good shell velocity, making it easier to aim, but your dispersion is absolutely horrid. And we take a look at this, the Kageto, who gets basically point blank to us. And what's that? 6 shells, and the Kageto gets away with HE. Now luckily this Atlanta has our back to finish him off, but I couldn't have done that myself, because our gun reload time is absolutely abysmal, and what we have around us just makes us even more annoying to try to fight. So here we're about to have a Normandy come flat broadside to us, and I would normally find a good time to switch shells here, but we got 28 seconds reload, which is absolutely horrible compared to Normandy's. So hopefully our secondary guns are going to be able to do stuff, because I know we aren't going to be able to. So I'm going to start to go full forward to give him my bow, because if he catches my broadside, we're dead, and we don't have the HP to take a broadside anyways. So we go and fire AP at his turret to try to knock out that forward turret, and we get so little damage it's not even worth commenting on. I want this Mince to help me with this Normandy so we can hopefully preserve more longevity. And note, the only damage we're really getting is from the fire from the secondaries. Our abysmally slow reload time gets us one more shot on the turret, and this time you'll see it doesn't. We get an overpen with 16-inch guns, and then we start to reverse. Of course, this Normandy is already too close, and I'm trying to get a good shot, but he's going to ram us and kill us there. And note, I like the Justine Leon voice. It's absolutely amazing. It's one of the best things about the Warhammer 40k commanders, is how they sound. But the battleship just needs a whole bunch of improvements. Like, it could do good as a tier 6 battleship. It just suffers so much from the fact that it's got abysmally slow reload and a horrid fire dispersion. So with that, we're about to just see this Vanguard absolutely demolish this last ship as he comes around the Cleveland that we faced earlier. And there we go. Battle ended. Middle of the team, well, lower middle, and 51,000 damage. Now we move on to the game with Ragnarok, and boy, is this a doozy. A lot of tier 7s, and a few tier 6s. And, well, I know I would love to use the AP here, because Ragnarok is supposed to be strong with her AP, but no, I have to use the HE to get any sort of good damage with this ship. So, we're gonna go push C, because that should have the most island cover for us. And islands are generally good for battleship defense. But we'll see what happens. And it's a doozy to run into. So, note 52,700 HP. Same. And may I just note, Arthrax the Cold sound absolutely amazing. So, our slow speed gets, for some reason we get really good 4 horsepower build, but we get absolutely abysmal trying to slow down. And I don't have any mod that helps increase, any sort of mod that helps increase our engine power, so yeah. This is just Ragnarok's natural engine power. There's one Bismarck, and then there's another Bismarck. Oh well, 2 Bismarcks pushing on the same flank. And then we take a chunk of 1,600 HP. Well, 1,200 HP. But yeah, so again, HP longevity, kind of nice. And there's also an Odin down this flank, I might add. Take shots to the Mjolnir. First forward gun salvo looks beautiful. Catch him. 1 defended medal. And so a little bit of damage. Trying to hold the fighter planes the best I can to make the best use of them. And we'll see. Take another shot at the Mjolnir here in a second, and you'll see our dispersion drastically changes. This shot's a little low. Just lands off the port or starboard. I can't tell from that. Couldn't tell from that angle. I want to say port. But we're gonna take another shot at this Mjolnir because he's still giving us what would be flat broadside. And this shot, we get 1 pen, but you'll note no damage. Weird, right? And yeah, so now we're just gonna try to fire at this Odin. Well, first shot misses the Odin over the island. So we're gonna take another shot at this Mjolnir with the forward guns. You have an idea where the Mjolnir is, so we'll take shots based on his last known position and what he was going at. But that Yudachi just smoked the Mjolnir. And we have the Odin here. We can shoot him over the island. And yeah, you'll see the position we're holding. We're holding a position on an island because we're trying to use the island as the greatest amount of armor between those 2 Bismarcks, because those Bismarcks will eat us alive. And this Odin can get a fairly decent salvo, but he can't chunk us for as much as other ships could at this range. We do set him on fire and get a little bit of damage off. But of course, oh no, we aren't instant damage on this one. We gotta slowly back up because these two Bismarcks are now pushing up. And this Odin can shoot us, so we're kind of at a loss here. But what we do end up getting is, if it comes up again, we do know the enemy has a destroyer in the area, so we're slowly backing up, and this Bismarck pushing up, and I decide, hey look, it might be a good idea to help this Tirpitz. So with that, Tirpitz is pushing up, I'm pushing in to support him, and well, a Bismarck coming up, just about enough to give me flat broadside. So I'm going to try to unload this next salvo on the other Bismarck, which if you take a look at dispersion, should be good, but it's not going to be. We get 2 of 8 shells, and note we've loaded AP here. Now, this should be getting a chance to pop the fighter plane, but I'm being stupid and holding it, hoping I can get a better shot after this one. And flat broadside Bismarck, aimed up a little bit into the hole. You'd think we'd get decent damage, right? All 8 guns fired, and we get, what, 11,000 damage without a fighter plane. That means we'd have only gotten like 13,000 damage with the fighter plane. The Bismarck gets the Tirpitz, and the secondaries realigned to me, and I kind of slowly realized that this is going to be the end. So this Bismarck here is just going to eat me alive. So Bismarck secondaries are her most deadly feature, besides her 15-inch guns. So we have one Bismarck on one side, and I'm going to try to get another AP salvo off. Then I realize, you know, I got one shot against this other one or two shots against this other Bismarck before he turns nose in, which he's already doing. So it's time to switch to the HE. And you'll see, absolutely crap for damage still, as we have to reverse at like 11 knots, which is giving us absolutely nothing to work with. Trying to give this Bismarck the nose to try to bounce some of these shells, but it's not working too well for us. You know, the other Bismarck is coming up the broadside by this island to our left. So we get another fire on the Bismarck, 1 pen, and we're just going to slowly take damage off. And this is going to be our way of getting damage. So, requesting support, the Iowa, who was pushing in originally to try to help me out here, who doesn't look like he's going to be too much help. Get a Bismarck. Another 900 damage hit, with HE, mind you. So your HE is barely effective as well, besides for the little bit of fire damage you get. Other Bismarck comes around the island and try to put the nose to her. Get okay angle, and then the other Bismarck is just gonna absolutely put a mean hit in, 200. And I'm just gonna pop the fighter plane here to help the team out, because any little bit of spotting's nice. You know, we get like 24 seconds. And yeah, holding the fighter plane earlier was my own fault. But yeah, you see 55,000 damage is... I would love these ships to be good, honestly. But these ships just don't have what it takes to fight at tier 5, tier 6, or tier 7 to validate them being worthwhile ships. But here we go. We'll see 55,000 damage. Almost lost on the team. So yeah guys, that's all I got for you guys this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and join us down in the Discord below. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye now.